but we will start with an opening statement from Chris. Chris, go ahead.
Listen, here's what I would tell everyone. What a privilege I have to coach this group. That even over this last little bit, a tough stretch for us, that the way this team shows up every day, the belief they have to each other, the commitment to what we ask every day, big demands. And yeah, like in this business, there's this concept of pressure and, just even internal pressure we put on ourselves to win games. The way they stepped on the pitch today, going down a goal, to come back once again, to defend this fortress, to give it to the fans and to themselves, just, makes a coach really proud. So not just that we beat a good team, and they are a good team, that the nature of the victory, the come from behind, and I think that, it's something we talked about before the game, which was, nothing in life and football it should be given to you. You have to go and earn it, and they did. And for that, it's what you hope for as a coach for your team. So, big win for our players and for our fans, which were amazing once again to show up the way that they did, in big numbers, big support, and it's with that team and our fans, you can see why this is a tough place to play for any team to come in.
Thank you, Coach.
Sure.
We'll go to Daniel.
Coach, obviously her return is a big story today. Just what did you think about the spark for this team, especially in that first half?
I thought it was a great season for Temois. She it's the first time I get to see that in live action in a game, and just the attention she draws from the opposition, the confidence she gives our players emotionally, the quality that she brings onto the pitch, the threat in behind, but she's also very smart with her runs and with the ball. So she gets a nice assist on the day. Great debut of the season for her. It is great to have her back. So it's a nice positive first step for her, and it means a lot for us.
You kind of walk through the decision to sub her off right before halftime there. I mean, I know sometimes you think maybe 10 minutes there, but the stoppage time, could she have gone that much longer so you didn't have to burn a sub window? What was going through your head in that moment?
Yeah, listen, it's obviously a really good question, because many people probably wonder, what's wrong with this coach? Why is he taking her out? It's only 5 more minutes. But on the day, we came in not with a certain amount of minutes, although we had an idea. It'd be that around 30. And then you have to say, all right, do you just bring her on in the second half, or do you start the game with her? That was a big decision that we made, to say, let's start Temois, and just from the start, let's set a tone in this game. So now it's based on workloads. So once she reaches that threshold, or this amount of minutes, but the workload, I think then it's close to 38, 37 minutes, and we know with stoppage time, the decision was made to take her off when I was prepared to in the first half, and 2, to not put the player at risk. So it became a decision I made to say, it's only 8 to 10 more minutes with stoppage, but what if that's not the best thing for Temois, and then ultimately the team? So science and art, we go with both, but I think it was the right decision.
And the second half there, it seemed like this team really came out strong and put Gotham under the gun there until you guys got that goal. I mean, just what did you like about the way the team came out in that second half?
Yeah, listen, I think that the team had a really good start to the game and built some momentum, created some chances in the first half, didn't get totally rewarded. In the second half, we made a couple of little adjustments, but we talked about continuing to be aggressive with Coop and with Haley, and just changed our press a little bit and said, let's really go after them a bit more. We can pin them in a little bit. We have the wind. They're against the wind, and I think we got on top of that right away. So great response from the players, especially the front line gets a lot of credit for some of the pressing and things and controlling things in our 4-2-4, as we say, but the back line has a big ask. We talk about shrinking space there, and I think they did a really nice job helping us pin them in a bit.
Chris, with that 4-2-4, obviously Croy playing a bit deeper today to make room for Showinga in that front line. Just what made you go into that decision, and how did you like her effort there?
Yeah, listen, I think it's something we've repped a little bit in this last week, knowing Temois could be coming back. If you play a typical 4-2-3-1 when we're defending, it feels 4-4-2, 4-2-4. But next to Lowe, oftentimes is another 6. We knew that if we play a 4-3-3 in attack, that puts a lot of creative players on the field at the same time, right? Coop and Temois with Lowe, and then you have Croy and Deb with an Ali Sentnor. I came here and said we're going to attack, and we are going to do that. However, okay, defensively, it puts Croy in a role to play next to Lowe, defensively like a 6. And she's really intelligent. We thought she did a great job on the day next to Lowe, but from a defensive standpoint, I think we were organized and in possession. We talked about building our attack and having those 3 central midfielders with overloads with Deb and Croy, and we think that actually helped. So, listen, we now want to have tactical flexibility. This gives us some options.
And with that flexibility, it seems like they're still, obviously still working through the front attack. It seems like Ali and Deb and sometimes getting in each other's spaces and kind of still working out the spacing on that. Just what was the plan going into that like, and how did you like how they're still working that out?
If players are getting in each other's spaces, that might happen sometimes. But we like to have players, we call it an attacking net. We want our net to be tight. We want to build our attacks with sometimes close combinations, short passes. Those are less pressable. Short combinations, which also sets good conditions for counterpressing. Imagine you have the ball, you lose the ball, you have players in close proximity. So yeah, you might get in each other's way. What I would tell you is we created some pretty good chances on the day. That team we just played against had 3 shutouts in 4 games and gave up 2 goals all year. Our players scored two on the day. So we look at the positive and that we were able to create. So yeah, we can live with that.
All right, we'll go back to Jillian.
Thank you. Coach, congrats. Big win. Really cool to watch you guys earn it the way you did. I was going to ask about Croy. I know it's been brought up, but you've talked a little bit about what a difference maker her defensive play could make on her international career, for example. What were your thoughts on her impacting this match in a defensive capacity today? And she also started a bunch of transitions as well.
You know, we have a really intelligent player with Croy Bethune. She's a winner. She's creative, and I believe that she's going to make a case for herself to get in with the national team with performances like that. Her will to win is strong. She obviously has a gift of football with the ball, but today playing in that 6 role defensively, causing lots of turnovers in and around our own box, shifting the way she did all day with Lola Banta. I think she showed a lot to us and herself and anyone watching. And I know our national team is tuned in. So I think there's been a real mentality that we've seen in her that she's dangerous. She has this mentality as you try to convince players, but you can be dangerous with the ball and equally dangerous when you don't have the ball. And this was clear today. So yeah, thanks for noting that.
All right, we've got time for about 2 more. We'll start with Tom.
Coach, congratulations on the win today. This, however, does make a 5th straight match where you conceded first. Do you all just seem to respond better to getting punched in the mouth first, or is it easier to kind of take the game as it comes?
Look, it's something we talk about being the aggressors around here, scoring first corner kick, first foul, really putting things on our terms. And I think today we did that, and it wouldn't have been the first game that we did that. Again, we played against a good team. It's one of their first chances. They have it's a good goal for them, but that's never the intention to concede first. It's actually really difficult when you go down emotionally and just, it's hard to score goals. I think, listen, we're going to keep working at things like this, but I think what we take also from it is that most teams in the league, 65% of the time, you get scored on first, you lose that many times. And we've won 2 games now from behind. So something we don't want, but we want to certainly score first, like we did last year a lot, and then you can get that next one. So, yeah, that's it.
All right, we'll wrap it up.
Coach, kind of bouncing off the last thing that you said, you've come back your past 2 wins of the season. You've come back from behind. You also are welcoming a lot of players back slowly from SEI. What does that say about the resilience of this squad?
It's a resilient squad for sure. Strong mentality. That's how winners behave, and we have a locker room full of winners. This is how we believe that that's the case. I'll tell you this. We believe in young players. Lainey, Rouse, Amelia. I mean, I'll tell you, a lot of coaches aren't bringing those players on in that pressure moment. Either we're going to be about development or we're not. And I say, you know what? Trust the young players too. And I think both did great. But we know around here we're getting stronger, not weaker, right? Look at Coop tonight. This is a couple of games in a row now. She looks herself. She's dangerous, aggressive all night, gets rewarded. Ali Sentner up the pitch. I think it's her best game. Every attacker of the front 4 had a goal contribution. Ali with an assist, right? Temwa the same, and then 2 goals from Deb and Coop. And we're going to go into our depth. We have a good team. We have a strong team. Never an excuse from that locker room again, nor myself. We're getting stronger, not weaker, and we'll go into and now these next few games get to really see it even more in the Teal Rising Cup. We're really looking forward to. Thanks.
Coach, congrats on the win. Thank you so much. We'll have Cooper and Ali Sentnor here shortly.